And welcome back to USA States Cup 2022. It is a continuation of semifinals weekend. Losers bracket round 4 matchup featuring Carolina and Texas is upon us. I'm T1G. Joining me are Chillier and Miles. We're going to have a good time for this match, aren't we, lads?
Oh,
Oi.
yeah.
Oi.
I love 16 UTC USC.
I love 16 UTC. There is no better time to have a match in a USA-only tournament than noon or 11 a.m. local time.
Does anyone else have a mason jar of coffee with them? I have a mason jar of coffee with me.
I do not. I already drank my coffee before the match started. I was prepared.
I can't go get my coffee. It's too late.
Aw.
I had an extra caffeine coffee this morning, so I am wide the fuck awake. Wowie says we don't want warm-ups. So you
understand.
So somebody must have to like leave at 1 p.m. or well noon local time or something, right? Like I don't know why else they would have scheduled to 11 a.m. local and then said they don't want warm-ups on a weekend.
Was it warm-ups are an endangered species?
Thank
in this
God.
tournament, man.
Thank God. I'm okay with it.
Seldom warm-ups being picked.
Yeah.
Texas not looking for it. They're not looking for it.
So here are the teams. They are Will Cookie, Abba, Mega MK, Rhythmic RS, Yanadar 07, and Nigiri. Wowie Apraxia, Decatan, Abraham R, Cuckweezy, and Wins. Carolina dropped down from losers bracket. They were in the winners, or dropped down into losers bracket from winners quarterfinals last week. Lost 6-3 against Florida. Actually looked pretty decent in that match. They are a very respectable team in terms of skill level.
Yeah, I think before the tournament we didn't really know how to gauge this Carolina roster because they were like a 4th seeded team, and the only players people really knew were Will Cookie and Mega MK as like their standout players, and maybe Yanader as well. But I think the two big surprises from their roster this iteration have really been ABBA and Rhythmic RS, both playing extremely well in this tournament. And that has been able to carry them to some very big performances, bringing Florida almost to the brink on a few picks last week, coming just short of taking some of those picks that could have maybe taken them further in that match. But Florida, of course, dispatching of them and sending them down to losers bracket here to face Texas.
And
Well, these are two teams you didn't really expect to see in the losers bracket, really. I feel like, if you've watched a couple of the other streams, we've heard, even T1G talk about it multiple times this year. Is kind of interesting with these early round, matchups seemingly going one way and then complete flips with some of these teams being down here. Obviously, by quarterfinals, regardless of the teams, we pretty much know most of the players on these rosters here in, one tournament or another. Carolina, you mentioned before, players like Will Cookie and Mega MK, both members of the United States 3-digit World Cup team, so two very proficient players being backed up by at least one or two others to fill that third spot. And then Texas, tried and true roster. Most of these players, Wowie Apraxia, Decatan, Abraham Cuckweezy, and Wins, these are all seasoned, multiple time participant, many tournament playing players here. They know what they're doing. They know exactly how to get through these late stage matches like quarterfinals here.
And Texas, of course, dropped down to losers 2 weeks ago at the hands of that Washington team that's been a surprise in a very good way to a lot of people.
I am
But Texas didn't lose a single point last week in losers bracket against Kansas and Oregon. They won a total of 12-0 in those two matches. So clearly, you know, a couple teams really rising to the top in losers bracket to advance on to this week. But this is a much different team to be facing if you're Texas, you know, going from the relatively weaker Oregon and Kansas rosters to this Carolina squad. So I think that this match is definitely going to be a much more competitive one than they saw last week. And hopefully that kind of is just a trend for this weekend, because we had two pretty solidly fought 6-3 matches last night with New York, Ohio, and SoCal, Georgia, both ending 6-3, but being very hard fought.
Yeah, a lot of these later stage matchups start to get a little bit closer in terms of these, you know, again, you whittle down the teams to these kind of higher skill cap players, the more well-rounded rosters. And, you know, on this semifinals pool, it really has kicked up in difficulty a decent bit. From last week, I think, you know, you look at the quarterfinals pool, and there's definitely a lot of maps in there that are still pretty comfortable for most players, regardless of whether or not you're one of these top-tier tournament performances. So, you know, you go into starting to push above 7 stars now in semifinals. You're starting to get more, you know, specialized in certain slots. Of course, maps like Hidden 2, you know, you often talk about. Something like Switched on Lotus is a massive step up. Even from Ding last week, which is a very difficult Hidden 2, but it's just the style and the amount of practice and proficiency that is required to play a map like that in that slot. Even stuff like, you know, but you do still get some consistency style maps, some things that people do perform well on. I think Everything Went Numb has been one of those maps where, you know, you've seen the Hard Rock players have a really, really good time on that map. There's been a lot of FCs, a lot of near FCs on that this week. And it's really been contested on, you know, kind of the higher seeded teams with, you know, the top level Hard Rock players going through on that.
I think it's interesting. You know, yesterday we had 2 matches. They both were 9 maps, and 7 of those maps were shared between those 2 matches. Like, I don't know that I've seen anything really like that before, where you had Nomads 3 and 4, Hidden 1, Hard Rock 3, DTs 1 and 3, and Fremod 3 all played in both New York, Ohio, and SoCal, Georgia. So interested to see whether that trend kind of continues with a lot of the same stuff. Also, Hidden 2 banned out in both of those matches. I think we are going to get that banned out again today. So Hidden 2, why are we on the wrong pool here? Hello? Hang on while I fix this real quick.
We are still in quarterfinals.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on there.
Congratulations, everyone. We have an extra week of play. All the teams that have been eliminated last week are back in.
Wait.
Yeah.
Well, wait, why is this match on a different one, but all the others were on the right one?
Just this one?
Yeah, because the ones last night were on the right one. That's really weird.
Oh, tragic.
And it's
client.
still on the wrong one, even though
Trying to explain the OSU tournament client might give you a headache.
There we go. Okay, that's bizarre. I don't know why it did that. I don't think I've ever seen that happen before.
Oh, let's go. Now we get real
HG2
pool. Let's
banned
go.
from Texas.
But yeah, HC2
is
is
banning Switch on Lotus.
HC2 gonna
banning that against Will Cookie.
HC2
Wow.
gonna stay on the 100% ban rate. That's 3 matches, 3 bans. Let's see.
If you have one reading player, that map needs to be banned, and I feel like
bans Hard Rock 3. We won't get that 100% pick rate anymore.
Oh, what
sad.
Skill gapped. Will Cookie, you are skill gapped.
HR1 ban coming out of Texas.
You specifically, because you called out the ban.
And
that one feels kind of odd for me. Okay, and Will Cookie. DT34.
DT4.
This is.
Okay, so DT. Okay, so that was a fast ban phase.
That was
so we have
very
Texas
fast.
banning Hidden 2, Hard Rock 1, Carolina banning Hard Rock 3, DT4. So Carolina bans the. Oh my! I hate this client. Carolina bans the Amy Alt Hard Rock and the just infinite doubles DT. Texas bans low AR Hidden and aim consistency Hard Rock.
Banning into Will Cookie and Mega, maybe. I don't really get the Hard Rock 1 ban as much as I get the Hidden 2 ban. You get to semifinals, Hidden 2, and stuff like Switched on Lotus. You could basically have Will Cookie 1v2 people on the other team. So, you know, any team that really has one good reading player, that's definitely a smart ban to start off with. I really don't know if I get the Hard Rock one, though. Maybe they just anticipate Texas being, or they anticipate Carolina having maybe Editor play that really well.
I actually think they have a really solid roster for that. Of Mega MK, ABBA, and Rhythmic RS, really good at the HR1.
But is it better than what Texas can put up is what I'm kind of thinking.
I think it is definitely a contested pick, but if they just like don't really like that map, I think it's an acceptable ban because it's something that Carolina is good at, so you're striking out something they might pick. And it looks like Carolina's going to go for the free mod 3 pick first. Drinky Nicky is going to continue its 100% pick rate.
Let's go.
Banger.
To get that free mod speed pick going as the first pick. Will Cookie, Mega, and Rhythmic in the lobby.
This is a higher diff, actually, of the same set that was picked, I believe, 3 years ago.
That's a long
diff
time.
Below this. The
That's
diff
too long
below
ago.
this was picked.
Yeah, I don't remember this
I
one.
remember it specifically because I remember playing it in this tournament. There was the one right below this.
It was also in Suiji that year, I'm pretty sure. That was 3 years ago.
That was good. It was a good map.
Everybody's favorite insanely long speed map. There's this, so I mean this is something that I'll probably return to in this pool depending on what gets picked, but like this pool places such a high emphasis on consistency because there's like 8 different maps that are 4 minutes long. Like this pool is ludicrously long, and some of the popular maps have been those picks. Like the Nomad 3 is almost 4 minutes long. Hidden 1 is almost 5 minutes long. This is 4.5 minutes long. So you have a lot more consistency at play with the sheer length of these maps. And, you know, late round, high star rating consistency becomes a big factor for teams picking stuff in this map pool.
Yeah, you know, it's, again, the length does 100% come into play here. You know, not only are we scaling the difficulty up and you're, you know, starting to maybe whittle down those teams that have the third player who is more of a fill rather than a third player on some of these rosters, and scaling everything together is kind of what makes the semifinals a little bit more difficult than in previous years, where it's not just a scale in one area or another. Everything is just perpetually more difficult across the entire pool. Despite that, however, we've seen some absolutely amazing performances from teams this weekend, which just speaks to kind of the consistency of the overall player pool with the teams left right now. We're going to get a couple of early misses out of Team Texas here. Abraham and Cuckweezy, actually the 2 players that I would have not expected to miss at the beginning of this map.
And the mod players as well, which you never want your mod FCs to fall by the wayside super early on in a map. It doesn't help things at all. One thing that's interesting on this map that I've seen in the previous matches is that it feels like there's like one player on the teams who ends up in for this that can't play the aim component. They'll be able to play the speed component of the map, but they can't play the aim component of the map. So we'll see if that affects anybody in this lobby as well.
Hopefully not too much. I think this map definitely does a good job of kind of balancing the consistency alongside the speed. You do have the 220 aim and some of the bursts, but it really doesn't get super long until kind of the latter part of the map here. So I think it does give some opportunity for those players who aren't quite as comfortable on speed to gain a foothold in this match here.
Every time are going to find a slider break though. The beginning one was not really that consequential, but now up at about 500 combo, it's going to start to mean something, but it is traded back by Rhythmic RS. Still 2 FCs on the board for Carolina. They're going to have a slight combo lead because of it.
That's like 100 combo lead for the FCs over Cuckweezy. There's still so much time left though. I mean, nothing is like, you know, map losing status as far as misses go this early on. Not quite halfway into a 4 minute, almost 4.5 minute long pick. Now, Apraxia is absolutely gaming on the Nomad, though Mega MK has even better accuracy. Another break from Rhythmic RS. There goes Will Cookie, but it's traded with Cuckweezy. Carolina got away with one there.
Ooh, it's a big advantage for Texas now.
Yeah, Abraham's entire combo is just free, so it's going to bring the lead back over as long as he and Apraxia both hold through this section.
Yeah, minute act difference between Apraxia and Mega MK. Definitely the 2 players you're looking to put up the FCs on this. Both of them very comfortable at this skill set and on the Nomad to boot. really giving them a chance to shine here in this match. Abraham R is really going to be that difference, showing the consistency on the hard rock. I kind of mentioned at the beginning, I was surprised to see that early miss from him. This is definitely something that if you kind of watched Abraham R before he went on a little bit of a hiatus before this, he was kind of one of the kings of the skill set here. These kind of higher BPM stream style consistency maps. Kakweezy gonna find another break there, but again, it won't really make a difference as Abraham R continues to match the combos from Will Cookie and Rhythmic RS, just barely squeezing back some score here. It's going to start to stagnate a bit with the continued misses from Kakweezy, but there's about a quarter of the way left in the map, and there it goes over to the side of Texas, but it's going to continue flickering slowly, given no breaks here. We'll see if anything happens at this last section here. It's a quarter of the way. No FC can drop right now between Mega or Apraxia. These are holding these.
How is Carolina in the lead, actually?
I think.
It must be. Is it Ack?
Oh,
there's a break from Abraham. Well, that's how they're in the lead now.
Oh, yeah, now
also, what happened to Apraxia in the 1/3 rhythm section? He went from like 99.6 to 98.9. Really lost a ton of accuracy in there while Mega MK didn't. And there's a break from Kakweezy. Well, Texas just lost the map.
Yeah. That's it right there.
Mega still has the FC to match Apraxia, and Will Cookie has a 760 combo, which is, obviously unmatched by Abraham or Kakweezy.
Well, tragic performance from Texas.
If Mega were to break at the very end here, which I'm not sure will happen, but if it were to happen, Apraxia has enough notes left to take control.
I think with it being over 100k now,
Will Cookie is holding it down regardless of if he breaks.
Will Cookie with 1,000 combo would hold off Apraxia even if Mega had broken. But he's just not gonna. He's just super comfortable with this, man. That's one of the better plays we've seen on this Nomad. I feel like we haven't actually seen as many FCs as you might expect, and that is going to be a new 199 ACK, 99.37 ACK Nomad FC.
Very good.
Apraxia a little bit lower on the ACK. Matches the full combo, but those backing scores, man, 614k from Will Cookie is quite good, as it turns out.
Yeah, very good. Will Cookie definitely, kind of brought up the tapping ability a little bit more than he used to have. He's definitely always been good at the aim-styled maps with Hidden, but, kind of being able to put up that mid 600k score, low 600k score in the semifinals here is a big difference maker for Carolina here, especially with Texas kind of underperforming on certain players here. Kakweezy's definitely one that I would have expected a guaranteed at least mid 500 to 600k from, just not quite as comfortable on this as maybe they wanted to be. Still fairly early in the morning for Texas, honestly. 11:20 a.m. Is definitely relatively uncomfortable of a time, regardless of whether or not they're the ones that scheduled for this. It is something that you have to maybe consider for them, just being, a little bit earlier. Carolina obviously sitting at, 12:20. The hour difference sometimes matters.
Yeah, you wouldn't know anything about that.
Nope, not at all.
I mean, it was on the other end of the day, but still.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like we kind of mentioned at the start, Texas is the team that has now played, the 2 outlier matches. They played a 5 UTC match, which is midnight local time a few weeks ago, and ended up losing it on a tiebreaker at, 1:15 a.m. local time. And now they're playing an 11 a.m. match. So they played just both ends of the spectrum. I feel like an underrated aspect of team construction in tournaments is having people with good schedules for matches. I think that's something that goes overlooked a lot of times, where if you have people that have work at normal match times that forces you to play at an uncomfortable time, it's not great, unfortunately. So we'll see how this ends up holding down for Texas, if they can get through this match in time for whoever it is that they scheduled this early for. Whereas Carolina, like you said, it's noon, it's 12:30, it's a little more of a comfortable time. It's a little, you get just that extra little bit of time in the morning to get ready for the match.
Yeah, really looking for that difference here between them, because they might need it on this DT3. Texas maybe a little bit behind on some of the consistency on the 220 aim, but something like Caramel Heaven, air 10.3, you start to get a little bit on the speedier side here with this DT3 compared to even something like Chikidinki. So you're really looking for a big turnaround from the speed roster in Texas here. Obviously, a player like Decatan going to be a difference maker on this. Apraxia in the past, I definitely would have said have been the one to win this map for Texas here, but Obviously, having not played the game as much, performance leaves a little bit more to be said compared to maybe the more active teammates. Obviously, mentioned someone like Decatan and Abraham who looks very comfortable on this. Early miss from Rex.
Early miss from Abraham as well. That's not what you want to see from Texas. Willcookie does match one of them. Players in this lobby have a lot to live up to after Tommy SS'd this map last night, and it's not looking too good for anybody as Mega MK is the next to break, and there goes Rhythmic RS as well. We are down to one full combo, and it's only 300 combo into the map. I didn't think this map was this hard for players at this level.
Yeah, this is a little bit of an interesting performance from these teams here. I mean, Carolina is not a team I would pin as speed whatsoever. Willcookie is 100% a fill player on a 10.3 semifinals DT map. Like, he just cannot play this.
They did
10.3.
Yeah.
It's the 10.3.
It's the 10.3 more than the
higher
speed.
BPMs.
Yeah.
It's the high AR. It's the complete opposite of what he's used to.
Low AR hidden player forced to play 10.3.
Like, it's just hidden in general. Like, it really gets you more comfortable with, having to just play off of the rhythm of the song. And, on 10.3, where you're basically going a little bit more off of the hit circle approaching on certain patterns, it really is going to be a whole nother element of difficulty for them. There goes Decatan on Texas, but by now, Apraxia and Abraham R have both built up combos to match Rhythmic RS and Mega MK. That early score lead that was kind of presented from there, and obviously Willcookie creating a bit of a gap there, being the lowest score by almost 150,000 here. There goes Abraham R.
That opens the door because Rhythmic and Mega both have a lot of combos. There goes Apraxia as well. That really opens the door.
Wow.
If Mega and Rhythmic need to hold, but this lead is definitely going to come back. There's still a quarter of the map. Yeah, they're obviously comfortable, judging by the accuracy alone.
Oh yeah, this is going to go all the way to Carolina, both with 700, almost 800 plus combos. Mega MK is going to miss on nothing.
That being said, Rhythmic RS still does have a lot of combos. So does Willcookie. And Decadent breaking again means the lead goes over to Carolina into the last seconds.
Willcookie's pulling this back right now, actually. Rhythmic is doing some work here, but Willcookie has almost doubled his score in this last section of the map.
Yeah, they're going to get this.
Oh my goodness, that's a break point for Carolina on the back of Rhythmic RS into the ending. Gonna put up 1,000+ combo, hitting the last section of the map. 99.71. Wow. Man.
That's a reverse choke. That's like 1 miss 1/100 or something. Or it's a one slider break to 100.
Slider break.
Oh my God.
That's so sad.
What a score.
That's a really, really solid score from Rhythmic RS. Also, just the team in general. I mean, Mega and Abraham almost identical scorers, and Willcookie with the lowest in the lobby by 140k, but Rhythmic RS just putting the team on his back for that break point.
Jeez, what a performance from Carolina overall as a team. Honestly, Mega MK and Rhythmic RS holding it down for the entire map. Willcookie making a massive recovery in terms of combo and accuracy right at the ending there. Texas, not bad scores. The team performance overall is actually pretty decent here. It's just the 1 and 2 misses at, kind of midway to 3/4 of the way through the map is terrible in a pick like this. It will absolutely crush your score. So the second that Texas found that second set of breaks on all their players, it was basically over from the second that happened, unless Carolina was going to trade every single one of them, which, based on the performance from Rhythmic RS, was just not going to happen.
Yeah, like, you can have the gap over Willcookie in terms of lobby scores, but when the top 2 scores in the lobby are on the other team, it really doesn't matter.
Well, back to Carolina. Yeah, let's see what they decide to go for here. I'd be surprised if they left Hidden 3 up for super long in here. Willcookie, obviously very proficient Hidden player with the flow aim as well, and I think Mega MK actually brings up a nice second player for some good score on that, and I'm sure they'll be able to find a third for it, but I think they're maybe going to want to avoid Nomad 2. They're going to go back into DT, I guess. Where you're strong, stay there.
I think this is going to be a super contested skill set. I mean, we see Fremont 3, DT3 is the first 2 picks. We're going DT1 is the next. I wouldn't be surprised to see a DT2 pick in the future, if not like the next pick from Texas, maybe a pick from Carolina with how good they've looked on DT and speed over the past couple weeks. Even if they're not as good at 10.3, they still came out with the win. So clearly, better now. And Rhythmic RS, if he's like on a day, and Mega MK on a day, like they can do really well on these picks.
Yeah. Carolina going to do some very early damage here to Texas if they're able to continue winning these faster picks here. A little bit lower on the AR for this DT1, which may provide some extra score for Carolina here. Again, the real difference maker for them on that map was the fact that Will Cookie was kind of sitting below 200k until past halfway point in the map. You lower that AR a little bit to 10.1, you maybe give him a little bit more chance to get some confident combo in here, as well as the fact that this map is more favored towards aim players, which is absolutely Will Cookie's area of expertise, is just aim in general. So, you know, you're giving so many more opportunities to them for this. But then again, lowering that AR, making it a more kind of basic skill set than that snappy high BPM kind of burst style DT does give Texas some opportunities, at least on, you know, their more proficient, you know, DT players in here. Obviously high BPM still, but you do have to worry based on the performance from, you know, even like Huckweezy, who you're normally used to seeing put up good performances on this. And of course, Apraxia in years past would have FC'd every single one of these maps.
I think with this pick, it has the aim aspect to it, but the actual difficulty in this largely comes from the longer streams. I mean, you could see Will Cookie 92 act really did not have a good time with that first stream, so that can end up playing a role as well, because those streams are, well, there's several of them and they're very difficult. But that's the first break is actually Abraham R. So despite Will Cookie at 92 acts somehow barely making it through the first two streams, Abraham R is broken twice, and the lead is on Carolina anyway. It's not as big of a lead as it realistically should be, but it's there. And Mega MK, oh, Rhythmic RS misaims. Speed player when playing an aim-focused map. Oh, there goes Will Cookie as well.
Oh, the square on Will Cookie. The square did it.
It was not Will Squareable.
Oh, man.
And
Will Squareable.
All right, so it's Apraxia, Cuckweezy. Apraxia 99.3, no surprise there. Very good speed player. You're going to expect him to do well in the streams on this. And Cuckweezy keeping things rolling as well. Ooh, is this a mispick? Is this going to be the breakpoint going right back over to Texas? It looks very likely at this juncture with that lead at 200k.
I very much like this performance from Texas right now. I was very surprised at the DT3 performance from them overall as a team, and what I'm seeing from Cuckweezy and Apraxia right now is exactly what I expect to see from this team. I expect them to be really good on all of these faster DT picks. You're very confident. Apraxia has been unwavering as both of them find breaks, but it doesn't matter because Abraham R has held it down, and this is much better from them.
Yeah.
Double 950k, basically.
Full reset from Carolina at the end, just to add insult to injury, and Abraham with a couple early breaks, but ends up closing it out with a nice combo. And that is a very bad mispick from Carolina. 6 misses from Will Cookie, 8 misses from Rhythmic RS. Clearly, Carolina was not as comfortable with that map as they expected to be, and they take the break point and they just toss it right back the other way.
And Rhythmic was really the only one that was comfortable on that for Carolina. I mean, you see it just on the 100 count alone, 7 100s, and then both of his teammates nearly 7 to 8 times the number of 100s. Yeah, it is just a completely different world of how comfortable they are. Meanwhile, Texas, every single player sub 20 100s on this entire pick here. Obviously, the miscount helping as well. But again, that goes back to what we expect from Texas. Like this is kind of their skill set. They've always really been good at these mechanic-styled, faster picks here. So, you know, when you see them lose 2 faster maps right at the get-go, you know, from the start of the match here, you start to get a little concerned, and now you're kind of bringing it back down to earth a little bit. Texas are kind of reeling themselves in here. They're trying to figure out what they want to go for, and I think, you know, this next pick is going to make a big difference for them if they're able to get right back into this. Obviously, just set the record straight here, 1 break point to 1 break point, grab their own pick afterwards, and, you know, you kind of reset the entire match there.
Question is, after you win the DT1 like that, do you go
Wins and Wowie?
Do you go DT2? But apparently not.
No,
if Wins
you
and
don't.
Wowie are in,
You go aim.
Is this
You
like
go
no
aim.
one?
No mod
Nah,
3.
this is no mod 3. Yeah, it's
aim.
alt. It's alt. It's got some aim. It's got some fast bursts. Oh no,
He's got some 100% pick rate.
yeah, this one keeping it up. So, you know, all the same maps are just getting picked over and over in this match. You love to see it. Praxia Deca 10 and wins. So that's 100% pick rate Nomad 3, 100% pick rate DT1, 100% pick rate DT3, 100% pick rate Fremod 3. We're just keeping it going.
When Dada picks bangers.
Well, also there's a lot of maps in this pool that no one will ever pick. Like,
true.
Unless there's something wrong with you, you're not gonna pick this Nomad 5.
Nomad 5 is open.
Hidden
Nomad
2
5 is open.
That doesn't mean it's gonna get picked. It's just a handshake. Hidden 2 is 100% ban rate. They need to pick Hard Rock 3 at some point. Hard Rock 1 has been banned once and picked none. You know, it's like there's this big chasm between maps that people want to play on this pool and maps that they don't, I guess. But wait, Will Cookie, Rhythmic RS, and Mega MK are staying in.
Yeah, this is
I guess
that
they
big core
feel
for them.
fine. Yeah.
I mean, Mega and Will Cookie, I definitely know are good at maps of this style. I have not personally seen Rhythmic RS play alt maps quite as often as those two. Obviously, I haven't seen them quite as much. For Team Texas here, Wins and Deca10 are just both really, really good alt players. Deca10 especially. I think Deca10 is just higher skill cap Wins when it comes to alt maps. But Wins has consistency on his side, and Apraxia has looked much better on the previous two picks than he did for the first one. So, you're seeing the shift from both sides, and we'll see who that first break comes from. Looking pretty confident at the beginning of this map, but almost 4 minutes.
Yeah, when you think of Apraxia's old playstyle, he's a full alt speed player, so he's definitely going to feel really comfortable, especially at the latter portion of this map where we've seen a lot of people have a lot of their struggles on this with those long bursts with the alt patterns. I think we're going to be looking at him to keep his accuracy among the people who might be struggling.
Yeah, Apraxia is like the insurance policy for the back quarter of this map because it's like a speed map all of a sudden at the very end. It's an alt map until then, and then it just kind of shifts gears and throws those big bursts at you, which kind of explains why there's some speed players still in for Carolina besides them being kind of the core roster. It makes sense in more ways than one. And Mega MK with the over aim, oh man, you could see his cursor was just nowhere near that circle. That's a big break too, because we're already 700 plus combo in, nearly halfway.
Especially with Deca10 still rocking the double S
oh,
right now.
Goodbye, Carolina.
Oh, yep, okay, Texas, congratulations.
There's the point.
Yeah, halfway through the map.
Wow.
Still holding on to the three-way. It is not looking good for Carolina anymore.
Yeah, with the double S on Deca10 and the close to 99% from Apraxia, Win's going to find a break to finally trade one out, but he's still already going to have put up, a good 60, 70,000 score on some of the players on Carolina here, so...
It's a 300,000 point lead nearly, and it's halfway through. The highest score in the map is 410k. Like, that gives you an idea of how bad it is to have those misses where Carolina did, and also how well Texas is doing on this pick.
Yeah, it's really, again, the difference between this pick right now is pretty much Wins entirely. Like, the 350-ish K, it's just going to continue growing as well. There is nothing to combat either of these FCs from Team Texas, let alone two of them. So, the score gain is going to be absolutely massive here as we approach the last quarter of the map here. We're going to hit Apraxia finding a break.
Yeah, that was a slider break
well.
For both of them, I think. I saw the 50s pop. But Deca10 is just chilling. I mean, even if Carolina FCs the rest of the map and Deca10 misses right now, I think they still lose.
Yeah.
And it just doesn't matter because Deca10's not missing.
You know what? I said it at the beginning of the map here. Deca10 is if you've seen how good Wins is at alt-style maps in general, Deca10 is genuinely just higher skill cap Wins. He will go off on anything that is this style. And it's just showing through so much right now. The accuracy, how snappy the cursor is, there's absolutely unwavering consistency across this entire pick in here. Every single person is breaking besides Rhythmic RS and Deca10 right now. Mega MK is somewhat a combo, but again, it's just nothing right now. 500,000 score basically for Texas. Into the ending here.
Oh no, he slider broke the last slider! Oh my god, that is so sad.
Okay, I see how it is. Is this just a Texas thing? Is breaking on the last slider just a Texas thing? Is this a new...
He pulled the
You can get it at Buc-ee's.
Oh my goodness.
Get a slider break from Buc-ee's.
Oh.
982k. That has got to be the highest score of the weekend on this so far. That is absolutely crazy.
That's such a good team score, and that's such a good score from Deca10, man. But that's just tragic to see them miss.
That is tragic. That's like 10,000 score on that one.
Oh,
150.
Well, fortunately, it did not matter at all in the grand scheme of things.
Not in the slightest. Texas going to take their second point here, and it's going to make this match dead even. 2-2. It's going to be 4 points to go for both teams here. We have fully reset. Going to go back to Carolina now, see if they continue to run through the DT pool here, or maybe they start to look somewhere else. Of course, you know, they did ban that DT4, but DT2 much more similar to something that they would be comfortable with here. You've also got some other tapping-styled maps left in the pool. Obviously, Paradise Ghost, a little bit more RNG with the style of it. And Ashes of the Dawn, if you've got Will Cookie, Mega, and Rhythmic all feeling good today with that core roster here, that is a pick that would suit them very well here. Although, picking Hidden and Streams into Team Texas there might not be a good idea on some days, but given how their Hard Rock players were playing earlier on Jikki, you're really looking for maybe a bit more of a gap between the two teams there than you normally expect.
Yeah, this is going to be where, now that we're 4 picks into the 5th map coming up, like, it starts to be a little bit more of a thought process as far as what you're going to see, because the obvious, like, these are the picks we had prepared, kind of start to go away once you get a few picks into your options. And I was gonna say, I don't think, like, after what happened on DT1, I don't think we see Carolina go, like, a raw mechanics map. Hard Rock 2...
Definitely not raw mechanics.
I don't know how I feel about picking a precision map into Texas as Team Carolina. This seems like something that Texas would pick themselves.
Texas didn't look good on their Hard Rock players in any map so far. So I wonder if they're just
they had Abraham on Fika Ninki, I guess, but
yeah, but Abraham is a player I'd expect to pull up like a guaranteed FC on something like that. So
yeah, but I mean, it's not a lot of data in this match to go on to try and pick into. I just don't think of precision as being like a preferred skill set for Carolina, I guess, but maybe that's just because of Will Cookie being, you know, a known hidden player.
Especially if they're rolling with this 3-man roster that they just haven't broken from so far this match. Will Cookie, Rhythmic, and Mega. Like you pick the DT1 and you're picking this Hard Rock 2, both AR10 plus maps with hit circles that obviously don't play to the strengths of one of your strongest players. I thought definitely a pick like Fremod 2 might have made more sense here. But then again, they must know something that we don't. Is Will Cookie Hard Rock real? They
actually just have 3 players. I don't know. I mean, was it Yenneter didn't play a single map last week anyway against Florida? But I would have expected like Abba and Nigiri to be in for at least something or other. I don't know.
Yeah, I would have expected Abba at least for maybe some of the faster maps in here.
And there's no shot that they would have accepted a reschedule at a time when they only had 3 players if it was the other team requesting it. I mean, I'm just assuming
unless you're Massachusetts versus Michigan last year, in which case
I mean, in that kind of situation, it's one thing where the skill gap is a little more obvious between the teams, but when it's a close matchup like this, and I'm only saying this because I believe it from what it appeared, it was Texas that requested this reschedule. This could have been Carolina, but I was just guessing from how like Texas wanted to get going and get things done quickly in the warm-ups that it was their request.
That would make sense, especially playing at 11 a.m. That's a more uncomfortable.
Like you wouldn't do that unless you needed to. Anyway, it's Rhythmic RS and Will Cookie with the early break. So again, Texas going to take an early advantage until the first break from Cuckweezy, but it's still a double FC to a single FC. Oh God, Rhythmic RS. Oh dear.
That hurts.
That's absolutely tragic.
Why did they pick this?
No, he is over aiming everything.
Why did they pick this?
He needs to reel it in.
This is like not as bad as what happened.
Like Will Cookie did on the first pick.
This is like not as bad as what happened to Georgia when they first picked this and didn't even get like it got like 1 million points, but it's not looking great. Though there is a break from Apraxia, so it's 1 FC to 1 with Mega MK and Decatan now.
Decatan does not have good AC either. He's 40,000 score behind on that accuracy.
The Will Cookie break is gonna slow the lead.
Rhythmic has recovered. a little bit. That's good. If he can do exactly what Will Cookie did on the earlier map on DT3, where he kind of just goes through and fixes everything, this may possibly work out just barely, though. Rhythmic shaking a little bit on some of these snaps here, very evidently not comfortable with the precision required for this map here. You can see the jitter every single time it snaps to a single circle here, but it's going to be so close here. Texas has better combos overall. Carolina needs a break from Texas to guarantee the point. There goes Rhythmic RS and Mega. It's over. Decatan wins.
Good job, Decatan. He's actually just gaming today. I don't know. This dude's playing really, really well.
Decatan is very good at precision cursor control every style pick. This is exactly what Decatan is good at.
Well, it's a good thing they have him.
Anything that requires you to place your cursor on a circle, Decatan is good at.
Any map in the game. That is the entire. That is the entire game. I mean, it's fortunate.
Never mind, he died.
Wait, it's
another
too late.
joke.
Because Apraxia and Cuckweezy actually broke like right after the couple of misses from Carolina a little bit ago. So it's very fortunate that Decatan held through, because this could have been really, really close instead of being like a 200k win at the end.
I suddenly do not want to play NAT versus Decatan this weekend. I suddenly desire to not. He's going today. Decatan, 800k, double basically the next closest score from a teammate on that side, which is a carry if there has ever been a definition of one there. Doubling your next two teammates there, basically being the equivalent of both. And Carolina just not really having a good time outside of Mega MK, barely above 500k. Will Cookie trying to make a difference above the 500k as well, but I think Rhythmic RS just having a little bit too much trouble on the pick overall. Definitely not doing them any favors, especially when he's put up some pretty solid scores across maps today. You start to rely on that performance a little bit.
Yeah, I just have to mention Will Cookie 8x100 on ACS 6.5 in semifinals without hidden. Oh my god.
Yeah, that's really good.
Hard Rock is real.
That was like nutsack, but he had 550s as well, so you got to kind of temper that a little bit. But even then, like the next best was what, 27 100s from Cuckweezy, and then 33 and 38. Like, yeah, that's insane. It's too bad about the misses, because he could have carried that.
Yeah, that was not very good for Carolina. You don't like to see that break point, especially after you've gone up 2-0 at the start of the match there. You never want to say those first two picks were kind of, lucky on the break point a little bit, because they were pretty solid score differences between them. But I think it's more Texas finding their groove as this match proceeds on. The players a little bit more comfortable putting up scores, I think, that we're more used to seeing from them. I think everyone was a little bit surprised again to begin with that Texas found themselves in the losers bracket this early, especially based on previous years, despite their roster looking just as good as previous years. So, we start to see them with these higher team performances, maybe putting up some more sizable gaps on these maps here. Now we're starting to get into the area where you kind of expect Texas to be. And by no means is Carolina looking bad right now. It's just a case of Texas traditionally being a very high-skilled team. Very experienced, very good at what they do.
I think they're picking their bread and butter here with this DT2. Abraham, Cuckweezy, and Apraxia on these stamina maps are kind of a scary roster to look at if you're on Carolina. Got Mega, Rhythmic RS, and Will Cookie playing every single map. I feel like the gap between the third player on Texas and what Will Cookie might theoretically get on this might be a little bit too high on this.
Will Cookie leaves the lobby. Do they have a fourth player? We will see.
Yenador? Oh, that's understandable. I'm okay with this.
I don't know. I don't know how well Yenador scales is kind of the concern.
Compared to Will Cookie, he's fast. Compared to Will Cookie, he has stamina.
Because this should be like Abba, right? Like surely
it should, but I think
he's like
according
sick.
to Twitch chat. Yeah.
Abba or Nagiri.
Yenador
speed over both
is
these
not
players.
a speed player. I should put it this way after saying what I did about Yenador. He's not a speed player. He's not a stamina player. But if you are taking the difference between Yenador and Will Cookie on who is more comfortable on this map, you should take Yenador. It's your one chance of having somewhat better of a score.
Will we see the method? Oh dear me. Oh dear me.
Oh, never mind.
Oh, Lord.
All right. Well, congratulations, Texas, 4-2. Onward we go.
Yeah, I think Apraxia and Abraham kind of just go.
Yeah, this is not. I don't know that this is going to be close. Yenador is at 80. Yenador's at 82.
Mega is gonna.
Mega
be
and Rhythmic are actually
like.
Yeah, Mega and Rhythmic are like okay. Mega more so, but Yenador Yeah, why?
We are sorry, Yenitor.
This is what happens when you have to fill and you're
That's
not.
a decent combo.
I mean, true, but he's 300k behind or 250k behind.
I believe. Cheese ending. Full
Well,
FC. Carolina FC is the entire rest of the map.
True,
And Texas three-way breaks.
Yep.
Doable.
Yep, exactly.
All right. This is Will Stetson, double tappable.
Winnable.
There goes
Gwinnable.
Yenitor.
This is
All right,
Gwinnable,
bye.
yeah.
Gwinner. Any Gwinners? Yo, any Gwinners in chat? Oh, Cutqueasy broke.
Yenitor is not
I guess
a winner.
Cutqueasy was uncomfortable on that, 92%.
Evidently, Apraxia and Abraham are winners.
Yeah, this is.
I mean, this is like
And Mega MK.
this is like so squarely in Apraxia's wheelhouse, you know.
It's
And
tapping with no aim.
They just 3-milled that.
That's impressive.
That's pretty good. I'm
Mega's
impressed.
got a good score.
People from Carolina, not too shabby as well.
Good
FC
job,
from
Mega.
Yeah, they
but
lost
not
by
enough.
they lost by 1,000,000 points, but it wasn't too shabby.
Yeah, no, not too shabby on like the grand scheme of things. But like down 1,000,000, that kind of sucks. But like if you were to compare this to some of the other scores we might see on this map, I'm sure they'd be able to beat at least a third or half of the other teams. I think.
I mean, Texas had a double FC on this. The second Carolina didn't have a third on this, they lost.
Yeah.
Like, it was no difference of what Mega or Rhythmic could have done.
Yeah, just whoever you're. I mean, this was like just forfeit the point and go next because Carolina was never going to be competitive on that unless Texas like experienced an earthquake.
Yeah, and again, Apraxia and Abraham, and Texas in general, they've been doing such a good job in the latter part of this matchmaking improvements, and it shows through. They're playing well on their own skill sets. Now it's going to be hidden 3. We kind of thought, I kind of mentioned this earlier for Carolina. This is something that they should look towards. It's hidden flow aim. It's pretty comfortable on some of these sections. You do have some actual jump patterns in this, but in terms of what some of your best players' skill sets are, someone like Will Cookie and Mega MK, and even potentially Yenitor actually staying in for this map right now, I would not be surprised on a very decent aim player as well. This is a decent shot for them. Texas, they've got some good aim players, however, on the skill set as well. Obviously, Wowie, the first player you think of on the Texas team. I imagine Wynn's going to be playing this as well. But, for that third for Texas, I'm not entirely sure about.
Yeah, I don't know who plays hidden slider attack for Texas besides Wowie. I mean, Wowie's literally the most obvious person to ever be in for this map, but
yeah, like Wowie hidden, and then Wynn's is just one of their best aim players, and I don't know.
Is this Decadent or Apraxia?
Is this another Apraxia? I don't
think so. I think this is like Wowie. This is like Wowie Decadent wins if Wynn's is comfortable with the hidden on it.
I can see Decadent being okay.
Or it could be
Decadent
Abraham.
is not normally. Decadent is not someone I normally pin as like basic slider in though. There's Wynn's is there we go. Like that's the two on the right, the two W's. That's what Texas needs right now. They need Wowie wins.
They need a couple dubs.
They need a couple dubs in here right now. Well, actually, Carolina needs a couple dubs in here right now. Unfortunately, they've only got one. But they're looking to take their second point in this match. Obviously, remember, they've only got one of their own picks and one break point, so this would actually be their second dub on their own pick here. They're going to start to need it now. Texas goes to their next pick after this and forces match point if they're able to win it, which it's looking pretty likely to happen with their performance as of recent here. We'll see if Carolina makes the recovery now. They're going to need at least 1 point with Decadent finding an early break here.
Yeah, this is something I've kind of been waiting for Carolina to pick into. When you're picking into this skill set where you can kind of bring Yenitor in the lobby to have a good performance too, and you're picking Will Cookie, his best skill set, and something that Mega surely can't play. I feel like this is a map they might not suffer from third player syndrome on, but Yenitor is having some trouble at the start, so I might have to eat my own words here.
Oh, he's having a little trouble, but Wowie and Decadent both found breaks as well, so it could just be a case of getting used to the density.
Yeah, Carolina's in the position where they're going to get third player syndromed a lot. Oh, Decadent. What the heck just happened there?
Big chain miss on that stream. Wow.
Will Cookie and Mega are actually popping off.
Oh,
like,
yes.
Wait, I just noticed.
Yeah.
They both dropped hundreds at the same
Man.
It started abruptly by Ack.
This is closer than you'd expect it to be, though, all things considered. There's still...
The second half of this is so much harder.
There's time. Oh, there go Decadent and Yenitor. It's Wowie and Wynn's need to hold, and they need Will Cookie and Mega to break. There goes Mega, but it's traded. Wins misses at the exact same time, and so now it's just Wowie versus Will Cookie in a 1v1 that really has no bearing on anything as Wowie breaks, as Will Cookie holds.
Wowie breaks as well.
Oh my goodness.
And Will Cookie is going to bring the FC into the ending, and that's going to be a point for Carolina here with 200k lead going into the outro. Will Cookie does find the late miss, but
well,
he did enough.
Too.
He did enough. 99.3 AC, 1 miss for Will Cookie. Not too shabby, a known hidden player putting up a good score on a hidden map. I'm shocked.
Yeah, Will Cookie, the hidden aim player, going to be putting up the best score on the hidden aim map. Very cool from him. 800 plus K on that one. Carolina going to stay in it for at least one more point here. Texas, they've got their own pick now. They can force match point. Wins tragic 3 slider breaks. Actually, a very impressive play from him. Kind of slept on in that bottom corner. Top score on Team Texas actually ended up outscoring Wowie at the ending, but
that's kind of shocking.
Going up. Yeah,
misses,
Mega MK and Will Cookie. I mean, Wins is an aim player, man. He's good at this stuff. This guy, you can't sleep on him. If you've I kind of reference NAT actually because it's a good, kind of indicator of how some of these matches are going to go, given, North American tournament, mostly United States players in there. Wins has been kind of sending it home in NAT this year. And if you look at any of his match results, I think he beat Exarch last week. He's been kind of playing. So Wins, I'm kind of surprised to not see him in for a couple more of these aim maps this week, but Carolina, again, Mega MK and Will Cookie, as anticipated, just too strong on hidden mechanics like that. Very, very confident into that point there, but Texas, again, is going to have a chance to force the match point. They're going to see what they can do here. Ashes of the Dawn, please, I beg you, pick the best song in the pool.
I mean, we're kind of at the point of running lower, and if not out of the speed maps, they're just going to go Nomad 2 anyway, though. I actually don't think this is as good a pick as some of the others because it's not as high BPM. I think this is one where Carolina is going to have less trouble than like a DT1 or a DT2 because the BPM is considerably lower and it's considerably more friendly to the players. But at least it gives us another unique map in this match, Nomad 2 and Hidden 3, both being first-time picks in this one.
This map brings back so many terrible memories from the amount of time that this map is. 4-digit World Cup tryouts, the most obnoxious. All right, so for those of you who don't really know too much about this map, it's pretty comfortable in terms of BPM. If you're a Nomad 2 player, you're not going to have any trouble tapping this. The issue is this map is full of accelerating and decelerating spacing on these streams right here, and it makes it so unbelievably easy to catch one miss and then chain miss the entire rest of a pattern, especially right at the beginning where you're kind of getting into things. So this is almost a bit of a gamble from Texas, if anything, regardless of how comfortable you are on this map. I do still think there's always that constant looming, possibility of chain missing on this map. And I think it makes it a very obnoxious Nomad 2 because you can't pick it confidently. Like, you can't pick this and be like, I got this. I'll FC this every single time. No, you won't. You will miss on this pick.
What if I say I will?
You what?
Won't.
Do it right now, this weekend.
Okay, you'll see it tonight.
Texas is good at Nomad 2s. I don't know.
Decaten's ready. Decaten's 1-2ing.
We're back on the squad. Wait, is he left-handed? Or does he play on numpad, like, with his keyboard all the way to his left?
Oh, maybe.
Because Habib used to use 1-2 on numpad, but he's left-handed. If you're using 1-2 otherwise, it means you have your keyboard, like, 4 feet to your left. Huh. Unless you're playing on, like, 1-2 on the number row, but that would be the weirdest thing I've ever seen in my life.
It'd be reaching over your entire keyboard.
Yeah,
just like hitting every other key.
Can you imagine?
To input delay central.
Can you imagine
just
playing like
every keyboard?
Play like tilde 1?
Oh my gosh! Oh my gosh! Yeah, I'm gonna start coining the new play style. Actually, I'm gonna start tapping with a G and O.
I mean, if you're index ring or something, you could do Geo, I guess.
You go up a row. I'm gonna start coining. I'm gonna start coining index, pinky, and G and O.
Index. Okay. All right. Good luck with that. Let me know how it goes for you. As Cuckweezy is the first to break. Carolina early advantage into the streams. Hey guys, I heard you liked tapping many notes, so we placed many notes together with a 1-4 beat snap divisor.
All right, this next section right here. I'm ready. I'm ready for it. This first stream after this part right here is where either everyone or nobody will die. Hold on.
Counterpoint,
All right,
two
all right,
people
here
will
it
miss.
comes, right here. It's this section.
This
Long
doesn't look.
stream? Anyone?
This doesn't look
Anyone?
that bad. This looks fine. Oh, Praxia!
gets
Oh,
this,
Praxia! No!
Look,
Wait, there was Koizi as well!
I told you, you miss on everything if you miss one note.
They both just did the thing that people did on Nomad 2's last week, where if you missed once, you just chain miss the entire stream.
Oh,
and there goes Will Cookie as well. But Koizi and Praxia. Oh my god, my screen is just full
Oh
of red
my
X's.
God. Everyone is dead.
Rhythmic
Except for
RS and
Decayden
Decatan.
and Rhythmic.
Dude, Rhythmic RS and Decatan are just gaming, and it doesn't even matter. It's a 400k Carolina lead.
Rhythmic.
That Ack is so good.
100. Dude,
What is that, a 1x100?
This map is literally yeah, right. You cannot be confident on this map, regardless of how awesome you are of a stream player. Something will happen to you to make you miss on one of these streams. Oh my god,
he's getting butt slidered!
Oh
No! I don't
Wait,
think
can
there's enough
Decatan
time.
bring this?
There's not enough time.
There's only
too late.
well, there's enough time if Will Cookie and Mega both break and Decatan holds, but like other than that,
to been FCing maybe. to do
I mean, he is FCing, but he only has like he has less than 100k left in score. Oh, Will Cookie just lost so much score at the end, but it doesn't matter because Carolina had a big enough lead through the middle.
Good score from Decatan.
We're all tied up
You
now.
can very evidently
my-
see the players who chain missed on this.
Yo, that's a heck of a score from Decatan. I'm just gonna say, like 99 Ack FC, where when you look at everybody else, Rhythmic has 2 misses somehow in that buzz slider break. 11 misses, 22 misses, 25 misses, 38 misses. That's what happens on these
He must have missed.
flow aim heavy Nomad 2s. And now it's 4-4, which means both teams have 1 pick left.
Oh, welcome to the Nomad 2, where you will have more misses than 100s every time, guaranteed. Because that is, if you're a Nomad 2 player, I should specify. If you're not a Nomad 2 player, you might have trouble tapping the BPM of this. But that map, exactly what we kind of mentioned is totally possible on this map. You pick this, you can be totally confident with how you're playing and how you're streaming that day. One over aim, one under aim, something with your cursor, and you are gone for at least 10 notes.
Hitting one last pick, Carolina.
Tragic.
Hitting one last pick.
This is a good pick. This is
I
a good
like this
pick.
for them. I like this a lot for them. You win Nomad 2.
Mega MK Will Cookie.
You win Nomad 2, you go into Hidden 1, which is super flow aim heavy on Hidden, and you won Hidden 3 as well. So you've won a hidden
flow
you've
aim.
won a hidden map, you've won a flow aim map. Now you're just gonna slam those two together and try to take the break, or try to take the match point in your favor off of it, and also put all kinds of pressure on Texas's last pick, who are going to be thinking a lot after losing the Nomad 2 about what their last pick might be. You want to put this kind of pressure on if you're Carolina. This is such an easy map to break on, though. I mean, a lot of maps in this pool are like that, but the spacing and the flow aim requirement for this one is definitely right up there, albeit at a lower BPM with the Nomad 2 pick.
As well.
And it's 5 minutes long.
Yeah.
It's like 4 minutes 46 seconds long. So your consistency, your flow aim, your hidden reading, I mean, it's just everything. And well, Carolina's had that so far.
Well, we'll see what happens on this one. Again, I'm looking for Mega MK and Will Cookie to make a big difference on this pick for Carolina. They've definitely been the two to look out for on the hidden pool thus far. Rhythmic RS going to be playing in for this one. Not super surprising, I guess, if you're comfortable with how this map is kind of laid out. Adding hidden on doesn't really make it that much more difficult. I think that's just kind of the nature of the higher AR hidden mechanic styled stuff right now. Texas is going to run with the same hidden roster they had for hidden 3, so it's going to be Wowie, or Apraxia is going to sub in now for Decatan, but it's going to be Wowie and Wynn's eyes on for Texas right now. They've definitely been the two on. They've been the two on the hidden. My eyes are on them.
Apraxia hidden. What is this tech? The dark tech Apraxia hidden.
This is just the new method. Apraxia has been playing a lot of the gimmicky hiddens for Texas this year, with Wowie and Wynn's kind of being the bell cows for Texas on this map. But
This is just intimidation.
Apraxia is a good act player, so I could understand putting him as like a third on any sort of pick.
Well, it doesn't matter if you can act with that.
Oh, yep.
Wowiak,
there goes.
Wowiak, by the way, keeping it up there in the early goings.
Yeah, he's holding Will Cookie off a little bit better accuracy.
This is so scary, though, because there's so many ways you can miss really easily in this map, and it's so long it's just really unforgiving as a pick. And it's staying at 100% pick rate, by the way. This is 3 for 3 now. Boy, this gives you a lot of time to think. You break early, you're like, okay, all right, we've got 1,400 more combo to go, but there's another break from Apraxia. Not what you want to see if you're Texas, but you know this is your opponent's last pick, so it's what they felt was absolutely best for them at this stage as we go into these really weird, like, slow, fast slider pattern.
Well, we will double S this
Oh,
section.
Will Cookie,
There's
no!
Will Cookie on the space stream.
Yeah, those accelerating
break.
bursts, man, they're nasty. We've seen people break those on those all the time. There goes Wowie!
Wowie!
And Apraxia as well, but there goes Rhythmic.
Mega
Apraxia chain misses, so it's wins versus Mega. But it's a 50K
Have
lead.
nice day. Understandable. Have nice day.
I was gonna say, Will Cookie breaking on this is kind of problematic thinking if you're Carolina, because he's kind of like the Rock, like Dwayne the Hidden Rock Johnson.
Yeah,
of
but
the
the
players on Carolina, but
It is
The-
now Mega MK.
the way Mega MK's been playing today, he's definitely able to carry a pick like this if he can keep this up with his confidence high. Wins is matching. They're exactly even. Look at those scores. 3,000 points
Oh
apart
my
on Wins
gosh.
and Mega.
the
It's a-
accuracies are even.
Yeah, it's a 50K lead for
It's
Carolina, which is
Apraxia's chain misses.
nothing.
That's the
Yeah,
difference.
he's down at 131K. That's the score gap between the teams, effectively.
He's got a combo. If Will Cookie can't start to build up a combo in this latter half of the map, this is going to get very dangerous for Carolina, because now that Apraxia has started to build up a little bit more combo here alongside Wowie, who is definitely going to be able to make a recovery on the latter half of this map here, you're really asking a little too much of Mega MK. Everyone makes it through the doubles. Oh my gosh.
This map is so scary because there's so many hard parts. Rhythmic RS misses on the accelerating burst, and that is going to be Texas able to take. Oh my god, it's a three-way reset for Carolina.
Gone.
Ooh, that is the kiss of
Oh,
death.
Wins may have just won this for Texas. I
I mean,
Wins
Texas
just
may
won
have
this for
Texas may have just won this for Texas. That's not just Wins. That's the whole team holding. If they don't all miss like in this Ki, it's basically over.
I'm looking at the difference of wins and missing now. Now it's Wowie and Apraxia, both unwavering, full combos after their breaks here. Both hitting the 1/3 sections on the slower section here. Everyone is having trouble besides these two right now. Wowie doing exactly what you kind of expect him to at the ending here. Apraxia doing a fantastic job of backing him up on this ending section right here. Rhythmic RS going to find another break. There's nothing Will Cookie and Mega MK can possibly do to recover this right now, unless we see some major blunders from Texas. But it's just Wowie to find a break. Apraxia holding it down into the last section of the slow part here. There's no combos on Carolina besides Mega MK, and Wins is matching it.
Praxia on the hidden one doing very, very well. That's not
Dude.
something that I think many
He's
of
gonna
us
top
would have
score for
expected,
Texas.
but he is popping off. We have to give that to him. He is being the third hidden player that Texas really needed him to be.
He's going to top score.
He was like hard trolling the intro, and I guess it was just a bait. It was just a clever
He's throwing
ruse.
them a bone. He just hit that.
Yep, he and Will Cookie were the only two to hit that in the lobby.
That pattern's hard. That's like the
Apraxia's,
hardest part of the map.
Apraxia's top scoring hidden one, dude.
It's over.
I
It's
don't
over.
know.
It's over.
What is this world, dude? Like, Apraxia quits the game, comes back and top scores a hidden one. Like, what the fuck are we doing
This
here?
is like Corim quitting and not becoming a Hard Rock player, but now being a hidden
Corim
player.
hidden.
It's over.
Yeah.
Corim
This
hidden.
sees the whole ending chorus. Wow.
This is a really
He's gonna-
impressive score from Apraxia, considering how hard of a time he had in the intro and early stage. There's a bit of a chain miss near the end, but it is still going to be more than enough. That is what Texas needed. I don't want to call this a mispick.
Jeez.
It felt fine as a pick for Carolina, but the variance on this map is just so high. Like, it's so easy to just like think you're going to get 600K and then actually get 300K.
Oh, yeah. I mean, you can even, like, you'll see on the score screen here what the difference was in the players who were comfortable and who weren't. Like, you can see Will Cookie with the chain misses here. You can tell he totally could have put up 1,000 combo if he was feeling good on some of the space parts there. And same with Wowie. 4 misses or wins, 8 misses, like single-digit miscount, Mega MK as well. It's just a completely different direction this could have gone for so many of these players. I think you take a look at Rhythmic RS and Apraxia, and you kind of, think that maybe that was probably a better score for them, given the miscount difference. But again, those 4 other players, any given day, it could have been completely different between them. But today it was Apraxia holding it down for Texas, ready to go on the hidden pool, going to get them their match point just in time for their own pick as well. That break point from Carolina was absolutely necessary earlier given that, so we're going to see if they're able to take another one here, but you're asking a lot from them at the ending here. Double time is gone, hidden is gone, and Hard Rock is gone.
Yeah.
So
Nomad
really
5
just looking
is
for
open.
Fremont and Nomad.
Nah, you don't pick Nomad 5 here. You 100% don't pick Nomad 5 here.
Yeah, you do not bet on a skill set that doesn't exist. That is the way Dada described the map last night, and I thought it was perfect. Like,
True.
picking Nomad 5 is picking a skill set that does not exist. Unironically, I think if you're Team Texas, you could look at Nomad 1.
I think
actually.
you pick Nomad. Nah, I think you pick Nomad 4 here.
I think you pick Fremont too.
I think you pick Nomad 4 here.
I think you pick
genuinely.
Fremont too.
Okay. I don't
Texas
think you.
pick Fremont
I don't.
too.
Oh,
Oh my God.
These
Oh my God.
motherfuckers.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
For the match,
All right,
you're
all right.
picking a
The
skill set
lore, all
that
right.
doesn't
The
exist.
unknown lore, Wowie probably has a double S on this.
I'm going to refuse to actually have this song playing. By the way, like I'm just gonna put on some other song because it doesn't matter what song is playing during this.
How much do you want to bet that somebody?
I'm
FCs
literally
this?
not. I'm making the executive decision to refuse to have this song playing.
I'm gonna sing it. I'm gonna sing
I'll
it.
sing it for you
I'm
as
gonna
well.
sing it.
All right, Chiller, you want to do the higher pitch? I'll do the lower pitch.
You want me to do the higher pitch?
Okay, never mind. No. My voice is just higher than yours.
You guys are not doing that. I will mute you both. I don't know. I'll put it on when the map actually starts. But I can't believe you would actually pick this as the last map of the match.
I think they picked this because the background is
actually
amazing.
unbelievable that you would last pick this. This is such like a fucking burger flip bullshit ass garbage map. I don't understand why you would do this here.
Because map background. Have you seen the background for this map? This is like inspiration level background, and Texas is going to need it for this pick because no amount of skill will ever win you this map.
Yeah, I don't understand. I like, I guess you just go Wowie mode. Is that it?
This is
think so.
Deca-10 mode. This
I
is
heard that
totally
Wowie-
Deca-10 mode.
Wowie actually has a 90% score on this, which is actually like insane.
That's pretty good,
Like
actually.
90% on this is crazy. And if he can do that in this match, it'll probably win his team. But
Deca-10 FC
you don't
is
know.
guaranteed,
You just
100%.
don't know. This skill
100%.
set does not exist. So Carolina
Deca-10
could
FCs.
also have something like that on their squad, but we don't know.
I'm so ready for somebody to just bring it home on this.
Oh my god. I want to die. Alright, well, this actually... I thought the dumbest picks in pools were in Hippo Cup. And, like, I actually
That's no
guess
way to
I was
talk about them,
wrong.
Tony.
I actually guess I was wrong. So, what determines who wins?
misreads first?
Yeah, what
Whoever
determines who
misreads at
wins
the beginning.
this?
I bet it's whoever misreads this beginning double section right here. Like, the bottom circles that double up, if somebody misses one of those, that wins, or that loses them the map. Because then after this, like, beginning section, it just gets impossible.
Nobody
So,
broke in the
you
first
need
one.
to combo the beginning. Let's see. Who misreads first, genuinely? Like, Will Cookie has great accuracy right now. Wowie
Riveting
is
gameplay.
cheating.
I mean,
Wowie is broken.
What is
Wowie is
Wowie?
broken.
Okay, so this is why they picked this, is because they have Wowie, who's like the best,
Wowie.
who's like one of the best slider
The best
players in the
sliders.
game. Yeah,
Yeah,
he
literally the best slider
He
player
might be
ever.
the best slider player in the game, huh?
I bet he is.
Yeah, but
If he practices sliders, he just does not miss.
the thing about this map is that it's kind of
Here we
like
go.
a muscle memory test because Wowie does have 99.46, but he is doing like more complicated movements than every other player in the lobby.
He's
and if
going
he trips
around the
up
top of
just
the
once-
slider.
Yes, precisely that. And that means
Like-
you're doing more movement than everyone else.
Can
who's
you just go?
moving in a straight line.
Can you just go straight down? There's no slider
Yes,
ticks
you
on there, right? You can just go
can,
down to the
but
bottom
you
right.
you will get a lot of act drops, and it will cost you a significant amount of score. But right now, it's a combo game, and it's whoever misreads one of these.
Oh, Deca-10 breaks. But they have 100.
Tragedy.
They have a
Look at
100K
Wowie's act.
lead.
Oh,
They have
yeah.
a
It's gonna
100K
lose
lead
so
on
quickly.
Ack. Because
But
Wowie's at,
Deca-10 had almost the worst ack on their team, so
Yeah.
he's gonna just drop.
but Wowie's at 97 Ack, and nobody else is above 90.
It's already going sub 100K.
Not.
It's continuing.
I don't know if it matters though because Woey Zach is carrying them.
If Carolina 3-ways, they win this.
Nope.
Oh.
There goes Rhythmic. All right, that's GG.
Good game.
Woey.
I
Woey is
can't.
gaming.
Can I just say, like, I can't believe this is how a match is gonna end.
He has 70 more combo than everyone else because of slider ticks.
Slider ends, but oh my god.
Yeah.
Slider ends,
Okay,
but
here we
yeah.
go. Here we go.
I mean, it doesn't matter.
Yeah,
Oh, he
yeah,
did
yeah.
break. Is this comebackable? It isn't comebackable,
no
right?
No way. No way, right?
This-
No, it's too late. in
Yeah,
the
it's
round.
150K. This isn't comebackable. Abraham is
Yeah, I
holding.
think Abraham needed to break here. And neither will
Wait,
Cookie or
Carolina's
Mega have-
Carolina's
No,
gonna
no, I don't think
Carolina's
there's no
gonna two-way this, and it's not gonna matter because they have 84
It's gonna be like
and 75
30K
act.
difference. It's gonna be so close at this ending section.
Jesus Christ.
it's
Oh,
so
the slider break
close.
gave it a little-
Jesus.
What a
Wow,
40K.
what a stupid fucking way to win a match. What a
That
stupid
was
fucking
so
way to lose a match.
anticlimactic.
I would feel so fucking bad if I was Carolina and I lost like that. Like, can you imagine?
90%.
Can you imagine losing a map like that? You double FC with a B and a C rank, and you lose because of it. That's like the worst feeling I could possibly imagine in a tournament.
Oh, that was kind of ridiculous to see, though. Well, I'm more impressed by Woey's ability to play that map so proficiently all the way until he broke. Oh my goodness.
That's a
Well-
GG well
Well,
played, though,
I mean,
Carolina.
Carolina.
I don't know. Congratulations, Texas. Like, regardless of that, like, they did well enough to get to that point. But I don't know. I don't know what I'm supposed to say about that. Texas advances onward. They will play who? New York, which is tomorrow, 18 UTC. So, yeah. We have no matches until like late tonight. So we get Texas, New York in the next round. We get what's the other one? Iowa versus New Jersey tonight at 2 UTC, 10 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Pacific.
Ballin'.
That's gonna be our next match. So we've got a big ol' like almost 9-hour break until that match. And then this time is wrong on the screen because I didn't update it because I didn't know when that match was going to be. It's going to be 18 UTC tomorrow, not 21 UTC tomorrow. And then the two semifinals are tomorrow, 22 UTC and 2 UTC Monday, 6 p.m. and 10 p.m. Eastern. Thank you for watching whatever the fuck that was that we just had to witness. And good job to Texas, and they advance onward.
Good luck next match.
Good luck in their next match.
GG.
Thank you for watching. I've been this one guy. They've been Chillier and Miles. We will see you guys late tonight for the next match in semifinals weekend. Have a good day.
Bye.